Hey, I'm headed to Kentucky to fish with my old buddy, Harold Knight. Harold was a guest on my show the very first year we had a television show over 31 years ago. Harold and I go way back. He is one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. I was hoping we would do it again. Harold and I fish together on Lake Berkeley all the time. Well, we're going to fish Berkeley this time, but we're going to start off on Kentucky Lake, something we hadn't done in years. That's 3.
I'll throw the pit boss, you throw the crankbait.
You heard me, Harold. That's a smallmouth.
Oh, yeah. He's some smallmouth.
Now, bass festival's going on, so they have a BASS tournament on Kentucky Lake, and they have a federation on Berkeley, so we're going to try to stay out of everybody's way and still catch some fish. So it ought to be exciting. You stay with me. I'm Hank Parker. You see that? Look how Harold got a black spot on his head. That means he's smart. That's how come I caught him.
He hit your bait,
As he say, that's why I caught him and you didn't. Well, we head to Kentucky Lake. Hey, it's the last day of practice. The BASS tournament starting tomorrow, so we're wanting to stay out of these guys' way, and we're wanting to catch a few fish on these ledges.
You got current wind, you got to stay on this boat all the time.
Yes, sir. You can't be playing, Harold. This ain't for babies. This is the big league. And it's a variety of baits working. Mostly creature type baits. I'm catching mine on a pit boss. Harold's catching some on some kind of crawfish. We're using different baits, and big worms are working. Crankbaits are not working. I throw a crankbait quite a bit and can't get anything going. And everybody I'd talked to said, boy, you just can't get these fish on a crankbait anymore. These fish are so heavily molested. It's just hard to get them to bite a crankbait. You got to really finesse them more.
Pretty good.
Pretty. Caught him on a rubber worm, didn't you, Harold?
I caught him. I caught him.
Wait a minute, hold on here. Nope, we got black spots on his tail. That means he's stupid.
Get out of here.
Yeah, black spots on the head mean they're smart, so that's a stupid fish. So I used a football jig and lots of different creature baits, and we caught them good. We caught them really good. We did a little drop shotting and different things, and it all worked out and had a lot of fun. We fished about 20 different ledges and was successful on probably 90% of them, so that was pretty cool. Here it comes.
There you go.
That's a smart fish right there, Harold. He's not that big, but he's a smart one. I wonder why I'm catching all the smart ones, you getting the stupid ones. I can't find enough of them stupid ones.
You move your rod, I'll catch you.
I don't want to move my rod. I don't want you to catch one.
You're the best defensive fisherman I've ever been around my life.
You've said that a lot, and I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or an insult. There he is.
There he is. Yeah.
I know. What was you waiting on, Harold? What was you waiting on?
I don't know what he is. I got him.
I know you got him. I see that. Or he's got you, I think, is the real truth.
Oh, what's...
Spoonbill. Big catfish.
Yeah.
That fish caught you, Harold.
He caught me.
He sure did. Harold, explain to the ladies and gentlemen that's watching this Hank Parker Outdoor Magazine episode on exactly what we're doing, hugging the bottom, crawling the bottom. You got a little stand-up jig there.
I cannot believe how dragging a bait has been so effective. Not a giant, just a pretty one.
It is a pretty one. Why are you gonna show off and show him to the camera? Why don't you show him to me?
I'll ease him back. This is a shaky head that's heavy. It's 5/8. You can feel the bottom with it, and these fish, Hank, are right on the bottom.
They are.
I can't believe it. I mean,
I know that.
And tell me this, why would a fish be in 20 foot of water with 70-something degree temperature
Wind blowing and cloudy.
Yeah. I can't figure it out. But that shows you these fish has changed in the last few years. They're getting deeper, seems like every year. I'm catching them 25 foot deep.
Where we used to catch them on top, cranking
Right
13.
on top, crankbaits.
Yeah, 12, 13 feet deep.
I used to say you couldn't catch one of great old big heavy line. I got 17 pound test line on that. Big old steel rod.
Well, that's why you're catching them stupid ones. You're breathing hard. You got excited on me.
All right, what are we in there? We way too far out, ain't we?
No,
We are too. I'm telling you. That's where I've been catching them for 3 days, right there. I'm telling you.
I know.
Back off just a little right here, you're gonna catch one right here. Right there is where you're gonna catch it.
Well, Harold and I have been fishing together a long time. Back in the 80s, they had a fish formula tournament on Kentucky Lake. That's good stuff right there, Harold. That's called Sunset. And Harold and I were always partners. It was a team tournament, and I would go up and fish with Harold. He had a unique method for catching fish, but he was not a deep water fisherman. He was not a deep water structure fisherman. He wasn't an underwater island fisherman. He wasn't an extended point fisherman. That wasn't really his forte.
Pleasant smelling.
You got way more on your nose than you need there, my friend.
Do it?
Oh yeah, you look like Franco Hill. And we got beat up pretty bad in that first tournament. So the second year I go back, I say, Harold, we're gonna fish some deep water ledges.
They'll be all up down this river bank.
And I went up early, and he and I practiced together. And the first ledge we got on, I spent hours on it, and he was bored to death. It was wearing him out. And he was ready to leave. And we kept working and working and working. We finally found the end of it. When we found the end of it right on the point, that was before we had the equipment we have today in the way of GPS and maps. It was all figured out with a paper map and just your little Humminbird LCD screen.
There you
Go back there and sit down in the back of the boat because you're tired. But we found them. The mother lode was at the end of that point. And Harold was a quick study. And I'm gonna challenge anybody to be a better structure fisherman than Harold Knight. He picked up on that, took the ball. He's smart as a whip. He's a great outdoorsman. He figured that thing out. And so now when I go back, I got all the confidence in the world that if they're on the ledges, Harold can find them. Yeah. Old pit balls finally caught one. The rubber worm been wearing old pit balls out, but finally caught another smart fish.
That's a good one there. There you go.
He got all excited.
Take that.
Take that. I hadn't caught one in about an hour.
I tell you what, let's quit on that.
No, man.
Look at that. Hank, you let Hank hold it.
Here, let me hold it. No, let me hold it. Shut up. I want to hold it.
I know that.
No, I won't hurt you, I promise. Hey, don't go away. We got some more action. We're going to make a move.
This portion of Hank's Show is brought to you by Berkeley. Catch more fish. Yeti coolers, built for the wild.
Boy, you should have eaten a lot.
I'm not. Got you covered. Let's go fishing.
That's where them minnows done got buried up, and them fish is feeding on them.
So then we make a move over to Lake Berkeley. Berkeley I'm more comfortable with. I've spent more time there. I know some places. This water's dirty. Crankbait.
There'll probably be somebody down there on that.
And I got to thinking about overnight. You know, we didn't get those fish on a crankbait, and perhaps we were just a little bit too aggressive. So when we got to Berkeley, I just didn't say, okay, they're not going to bite a crankbait, period. Just forget it. Let's stay with our creature baits. Let's stay with the pit balls. Let's stay with our football jigs and worms and not really try to catch them on a crankbait.
I catch a lot of fish right here towards that island.
We're supposed to be catching them today on Berkeley on crankbait, and there you pick up that worm, sit in that back seat, sit down, and catch a fish. That was the pattern yesterday on Kentucky lakes, you sitting down. So here we go again.
Just a pretty, look how pretty. Ain't a mark on that fish.
Today, it's bright, sunny.
Down so easy. So
Yesterday it was raining and cold. And today we're on Berkeley
we come over here and we got a college tournament
championship.
coming by us all day with these college kids. But you gotta remember about these lakes. They run north. And if you got current, you'll catch fish. If you don't have current, it's tough on this lake, particularly Berkeley. And current helps both lakes. And we don't have much current right now, but we're hoping they'll start pulling this current. If they do, even Hank can catch one.
All right, so you said they both run north, which is backwards.
That's right.
Water's flowing uphill.
Yeah.
So it's backwards, and that explains why you can catch fish on Kentucky Berkeley, because you're backward, the lakes are backward, it's a perfect fit. So I dug down and got out some Sebile racer cranks. This is a killer crankbait, but it's not so aggressive. It's got this long, narrow lip, and it's got this tapered back, this flat back, and tapered sides. It's just called a racer crank because it's kind of aerodynamic or aquadynamic like a race car.
Ooh,
A toad.
We can catch them right here now.
Toad here, boys.
I'm gonna throw out there.
Go on, Harold. Have fun. And when fish are finicky, I found this tight bait works. Man, I wish you could catch one and do that. This particular bait has, over the last 3 or 4 years, has become my absolute favorite.
Fish on.
Fish on. I have caught enough fish to make a Ranger boat set low in the water. You can't sink one. I wouldn't say enough to sink a boat, but you couldn't sink a Ranger if you put lead weights in it here. That's a good one too, Harold. Oh my Lord, look here, Harold, I got two. Look here.
Hank Show is made possible in part by Luz. Feel the difference. Sunsect, insect repellent plus sunscreen combined into one great product. And by Minn Kota. And Talon.
There he is. Harold, they love this bait. Bass fish, Harold.
Is that a bass fish?
Bass fish. Look at it.
Well, what's the name of that bait?
It's called racer crank, a Sebile racer crank. This is a killer crankbait. And I wish I would have thrown this on Kentucky Lake, and I didn't. So when I got to Berkeley, wow, this thing worked. I mean, it worked big time.
They do this a lot of times right here. I catch a lot of fish right here.
I got one too, Harold. It's got a unique weight in the bottom. Came off, I can't believe that. And so the way this bait is weighted and the way this bait is cut and this flatness on the back and this narrow bill, it makes this bait have this incredibly, really tight quiver. We got some fish going right here, brother. So it's not so aggressive. It doesn't displace as much water. And I think it was the subtlety of the tight quiver. Had I used that big, deep diving bait that displaced a lot of water like I threw it on Kentucky Lake, I don't think we'd have caught them either. This bait made a big difference. And the whole thing was trying to be inconspicuous. Don't be so obvious. Don't displace a lot of water. Don't be too aggressive. And that's what this bait allowed me to do. It allowed me to be less aggressive with that tight quiver, and those fish fell for it. And we caught them. Boy, did we catch them. Another good one. Oh man, 2 boats watching. I got him too, Harold. Good one. Oh my Lord, look here, Harold, I got two. Look here, look at this. I got a 5-pounder. Look at this.
Let me help you.
Look at this.
Let me help you here.
Now we got a school of fish here, would you say, Harold? Look at that.
It's a school here. No.
Look at that. That's 8-pound line.
I'm not. No.
Okay, I'm just letting you know. Get that old biggest one.
Just hold on.
Hold on here. Come on, look at that. Look at that. Now, I was behind, but I'm catching us in a hurry. I'm catching them 2 at a time.
2 at a time, son. You love catching up 4 days old.
Yeah, thank you, buddy. Look at that. Chubbed. How about that, Harold? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stay with what you got, that worm.
I ain't been throwing the worm. I've been throwing this.
I know you have, but I don't want you to.
Oh, okay.
Just get your foot on the troll motor and make yourself happy. I ain't gonna do you dirty. No,
I'll
get
get a bigger
yourself
bait.
happy.
I'll get a bait when you get out there.
Get yourself happy.
Hank's Show is brought to you in part by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Mercury Marine, #1 on the water.
Good one, Harold. Fish liked it. First cast, back to color. We caught a lot of fish, and every place we went seemed to be productive. How about that old worm man?
Yeah, this is small fish, what we've been catching though.
But Harold really liked this one river ledge that he had been catching fish off of, and it really paid off. We went back to it several times and caught fish every time.
Get all over the boat.
I see that, all over Pawpaw's carpet. You beat all. The thing I love about Berkeley is here what a bass, Harold Wayne. It seems to be so much productive water. There's so many underwater ledges, there's so many islands, there's so many points, there's so many creeks, there's just so much happening on that lake. It's easy to make a move and still be successful, and that's what we did, and we loved it. Look there, Harold, one of them smart fish. Look there, what he's got on top of his head.
I never seen anybody had a boat didn't want to fish in it.
Forrest Wood told me to keep my boat clean. Here, let me clean you up. We're gonna end the show right here. Look right here. How many years we been doing this?
Since 1984.
You're pretty sharp.
Yeah.
It's 2015, so it's 31 years of the way I'm calculating it. 31 years we've been doing this.
Well,
Hope we do it 31 more.
We've had some good times, haven't we?
It's been awesome.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you something. I put it on you this morning. If you put it on me as soon as that crankbait.
Hey, we got it. It'll all even out sooner or later. That was good.
That was a lot of fun. I tell you what, when you can catch fish 2 at a time on a crankbait, buddy, you're at the right place.
I had a lot of catching up to do.
You did.
Man, I love Harold Knight. He is one of my best friends in the whole wide world. We had so much fun together. Who knew it was Bass Fest? I had no clue. Bass Fest. We got Federation tournament on Berkeley, a BASS tournament on Kentucky Lake. So we tried to stay out of everybody's way, and I think we did a pretty good job of that and still caught fish. How about that? Berkeley was awesome to us. We caught them on crankbaits. Kentucky Lake, we had to work a little harder, but it was good as well. So fun show. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll be back with me next week. God bless you. I'm Hank Parker.
And don't forget to visit us at hankparker.com, the place for tips, giveaways, and more.
The house needs painting, the grass needs mowing. Where's he at? Gone fishing.